SoCalCollegeSports.com presents SCFA Football Week 2 doubleheader. Santa Ana coming in here to Lancaster. Antelope Valley College coming off a Week 1 win over Glendale. Santa Ana will look to right the ship after dropping their opener versus San Bernardino Valley. Join myself, Mike Zepeda, Joe Watts, 6 p.m. kickoff live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Also on our other channel, Saddleback traveling to Ventura. Week 2 SCFA football live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. About 30 minutes away from the start of SCFA football Week 2, Santa Ana, Antelope Valley. Mike Spada, Joe Watts with you on tonight's broadcast, part of our doubleheader here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Saddleback at Ventura on our other channel. Jeff Stoynoff with the call there. Join us at 6 p.m. Everybody have been experiencing some technical difficulties. Adams wide open, touchdown Marauders. Derek McDonald. "25 minutes away from kickoff here from Lancaster, Antelope Valley, hosting Santa Ana, live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Week 2 doubleheader. Also Saddleback at Ventura. Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson with the call there. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage Week 2 in the SCFA. We are live from Lancaster, Antelope Valley, hosting Santa Ana Week 2 SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Part of our doubleheader coverage here today. Saddleback at Ventura. Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson on that call there. Coin toss being conducted right now. Both teams coming in to Week 2. Santa Ana 0-1 on the season. A hard luck loss last week at San Bernardino Valley. 41-38, a game which saw Santa Ana outscored by 14 in the fourth quarter. Outscored by a pair of touchdowns. They were shut out in that final frame. Antelope Valley with a win last week versus Glendale, 23-9. A game not pretty, but something that you expect in Week 1. Sometimes things won't be as pretty as when you're in mid-season, but you get the win. A win's a win, and Antelope Valley is 1-0 here in 2018. Back to Santa Ana and the numbers from last week. Connor Brown, starting QB, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did have a rushing TD as well. Nick Gallardo only had 2 catches in the game for 15 yards. Both of those catches went for touchdowns. Tyreek Wilson, the lead man in the receiving column, 8 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdowns. Georgie Alvarado, 10 catches for 75 yards, and the lead running back last week for the Dons. Josh Hill, 27 rushes, 78 yards, and a TD. Gets to some stats on Antelope Valley shortly. Show you a highlight here from last week. Adams wide open, touchdown, Marauders. Derek McDonald. That from a week ago. Getting ready here to kick things off in Week 2 of SCFA football. Mike Cepeda, Tom Gang, athletic director here, may join us later on in the broadcast. We know that Tom has a lot going on game days, but we would be happy to have him along with Joe Watts, possibly joining us here in the booth. We are underway here in Lancaster. A big stick at around the 25-yard line. That's where the Dons will start their first possession. That was Nick Gallardo on the run back for Santa Ana. Also have some scores from around the SCFA here for you shortly. Getting the start yet again, Connor Brown. Talked about his stats last week. His favorite target in the red zone seems to be Nick Gallardo. Gallardo right now in the slot, and that's a low snap on the deck. And Hill's going to have to actually check that. That was Kenneth Lamb in the backfield. Just has to fall on top of it for about an 8-yard loss on first down. Going to set up second and a mile. Spread the word, everybody. www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. That's our website on SoCal College Sports 1. That is our YouTube channel. We are broadcasting live via YouTube. You have an Apple TV, Xbox One with a YouTube app. Upscale this broadcast to 1080p. That pass intended on the far side for Georgie Alvarado. Well covered and incomplete. 3rd and 19 coming up. Special thanks to Matthew Henson, graphics producer for SoCalCollegeSports.com, operating remotely from Arizona. I'd like to get some Arizona games on SoCal College Sports. Might have to change the name a little bit. 3rd and 19. Brown going to go to work. Play action. Here comes pressure. Down the seam, nothing there. And good pressure on the QB. The defense just so good last week for Antelope Valley. Creating pressure that time. It was Jermon Sherrod. Sherrod, obviously a player of note. And Coach Jaleka was very keen on coming into this season. We talked about how good the defense was. 5 interceptions, 6 turnovers in all. DeLon Smith, SCFA Player of the Week defensively for the Marauders. This is going to be a short kick. Might not get past the 45. And the Marauders will have excellent field position here to start things off on their opening drive. Well, it would have been pretty good field position outside of a personal foul penalty, so this is going to back it up back into Marauder territory. 15 yards. So they're going to mark it off, and I believe this is going to go all the way back to the 40 of Antelope Valley. The sun early on can be such a hurdle here. Almost like those old Dallas Cowboys games in the old stadium. So Brian Adams going to go to work. Tony Bell does not get the start tonight. Jerron Russell looks like in the backfield. He will get the nod. Bell last week was fantastic. Out of the backfield, had a touchdown. He goes to Russell. Russell hurdles a player, and that's a nifty move by Russell. As Jerron, there's a flag on the field. I think this might be a hold here on the near side. Just underway here, 14 minutes to go. First quarter action. Antelope Valley hosting Santa Ana live here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. This is going to be a penalty that's going to go against Santa Ana. So not a face mask, but hands to the face against Santa Ana. I believe that call went against Cameron Freck. Freck thinking, what the Freck? Santa Ana gives up the yardage that, well, on top of that play, so now it's at the 39-yard line. Adams goes to work, hands off, Russell inside, going nowhere. It's bottled up nicely there by Santa Ana. Well, I had a chance to speak before the game with Demarie Jones, member of the basketball team a year ago, last season for Antelope Valley, headed to Oral Roberts. He departs in December once he's finished up here. Congratulations to that young man and the terrific program that they run here at Antelope Valley. Athletic program, football, basketball, you name it. They get it done. It's a fantastic school, great facilities, probably the nicest press box that we've had a chance to work in here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's like a freezer up here with all the air conditioning. It's beautiful. Special thanks, of course, to head coach Perry Jaleka, Tom Gang, athletic director. Third down, Adams fires near side. That's McDonald. McDonald looks like he's going to have enough for the first, and indeed he's going to be just a yard beyond the stick at the 28-yard line. Move the chains. See the replay here. Very well done. Quick hitch on the far side. That pass is dropped. Intended for Jalen Miller. Live action. Adams outside. That pass intended for Miller or Jones. I think Adams may be a little bit off cue there. He's down on the field before the game, and I got to tell you, Brian Adams, he is an imposing human being, and this is coming from a 6'10", 300-pound guy. Adams is a big boy. A lot of arm, a lot of talent. It's 3rd and 10. Completed last time to McDonald. He goes to McDonald again. This likely going to be short. And we have a foul, personal foul penalty, a flag out again. Who is this going to go against, though? Is this going to go against McDonald? Or is this going to go against Cameron Freck? Because Freck was clapping at the end of that. I think this is going to go against Derek McDonald. So this is going to be a dead ball foul. And this is indeed going to go against Derek. So good last week. 90-plus yards on 5 receptions, a couple of touchdowns. But he draws a personal foul penalty here. Well, it's a dead ball foul, so they back it up out of field goal range, and Luke Kaufman will come on to punt it away. That's unfortunate because you basically cost your team 3 points after the personal foul call. You have to be a lot smarter than that. Kaufman gets this one off. It's a beauty. And it's going to be down at the 5-yard line. That's a fantastic job by special teams. John Robinson came in and got the ball before it took a bounce into the end zone. And the Marauders come up again. Let's see if we can see this here on replay. Handoff inside, really going nowhere. I don't even know if they got back to the line of scrimmage. This one intended down the field. Some jawing after the play, but pass intended for Nick Gallardo. Having some issues with some of our controls here. Apologies for some of the dead air. Back split behind Connor Brown. I don't know if this play was going to get off. We're going to take a timeout here. We'll do the same. Back in a moment. No score. First quarter, 11:15 to go. You are watching SCFA Football Week 2 on SoCal College Sports. 2nd and 5. Brown back to pass, and he is absolutely decked. He'll be downed at the 1. German Sherrod and company. Darrell Doris, one of the linebackers, there in a hurry as well. And Santa Ana's in a world of hurt there at their own 1-yard line. In talking with Coach earlier in the week, Coach Jaleka really thinks his team defensively can be quite special, and he sung the praises, of course, of his quarterback, Brian Adams. But really the thing that stands out to him is the defensive ability that they have at their disposal, the players, the talent, the rush up front, their ability to pressure the quarterback, force bad throws, but also the ball hawking ability of his secondary. It's going to bring up 4th down. And Santa Ana, team that put up 38 points a week ago. 3 and out in their first 2 possessions. And they're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Jones back to receive it, takes it at about the 35-40, has some blockers, and he is out of bounds at about the 20. See it again on the main shot. Jones, see how electric he is. Inside run. We're going anywhere. Wait a minute. Did the ball get away? Was that ball stripped out? Not entirely sure what the exchange was there. Let's see if we can catch the replay here. It looks like the ball was coughed up. Let's go to the end zone camera. We're going to get a pretty good look of it here. Apologies on how shaky that is. Russell looks like he just had the ball pop out. And it will go back to Santa Ana. So Santa Ana, the Dons, with a defensive highlight of their own. Inside handoff, going to pick up 2. Flag on the field. Indication it's going to be holding against the Dons. Still no score, defensive battle early on. Well, didn't see Tony Bell yet. Had a fantastic week versus Glendale in the opener. But Jerron Russell got the start. He's already coughed it up once. I don't see Bell on the sideline as well, so could be a story that's developing. We spoke about Bell, did not indicate, or there was no indication. Ball thrown downfield, incomplete. Got a new quarterback. This is Luke Wilson. Wilson, freshman out of Yorba Linda. 6 foot, 155 pounds. Down the field with nothing there. Yeah, maybe you wonder if Brown was hurt on that last play and he was in the ball game. Don't see him getting worked on the sideline right now, but could have just come out. Maybe Santa Ana wants a different look. But as it stands, it's Luke Wilson in at quarterback for the Dons. Blitz on the edge. There was some contact at the end. I don't think that was a catchable ball. The pass intended for James Phillips. Falls incomplete. Terrific pressure on the outside brought by Raymond Womack. Womack getting to the quarterback in a hurry. Womack, another player of note on the defensive unit for Antelope Valley from Pinson High School in Alabama, one of the top teams in the country. State champion was Womack. It's going to bring up 3rd and 20. Barring a miracle here, likely going to see the defense get off the field yet again. Inside handoff. Pick up some nice yardage, but not enough. As the Dons will be forced to punt again. So the defense continues to be stellar here for Coach Jaleka and company. Really only one hiccup, and that came a week ago after they had scored their touchdown. Adams to McDonald. Low snap. Going to be fair caught by Paris Jones at the 45-yard line of the Marauders. Adams in the shotgun. Perhaps some early movement. Pass is complete near side, and with some room to run, this is Jalen Miller. Miller all by himself, one man to beat, and he is tackled from behind. A fantastic play set up. We'll see the replay on this one. Paris Jones springing that play with a block of beauty, and Miller, huge gain down to the 15-yard line. Pretty good job there by Adams getting the ball out. We do have an injured player on the field. Looks like that's Nick Vergara for Santa Ana. And Vergara is going to have to be helped off the field here. Injury timeout on the field will do the same. Back to battle here. Adams looking for McDonald. It's a lot of hands. There are a lot of contact. Where is the flag? Can't believe that. Let's look at that again on the replay here, because there is a lot of contact before the ball gets there to McDonald on the near side. Go to live action. Cameron Freck on McDonald. Russell over right tackle. Will pick up 5, maybe 6. They're going to give him 7. As Russell does a good job of falling forward there. Did have the early fumble. And that is not Russell. That is Jacoby Bordeaux. Freshman running back from Houston. Shout out H-Town. Adams looking for McDonald. Flag on the field. Might have been a moot point. McDonald laying out for it. As we see the replay here. Yeah, that's going to be a cut block. I think that's going to back it up 15. So that backs it up all the way to make it 3rd and 16. They're going to set up a screen to Paris Jones, and Jones going nowhere. That's going to force 4th down from the 27-yard line. So this is going to be a 44-yarder if they want to go for it. They need the 6-yard line for a 1st down. Maybe think about pooch punting here. .6:37 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. Adams rolling to his right, looking for McDonald. McDonald on an out route. Wouldn't have been enough for a 1st down. Falls incomplete. And it's a turnover on downs, and the Dons hold. Remember, everybody, catch us on our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SoCal College SPO, and on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Love to hear from you. SCFA football week 2. Decidedly better than last week. Connor Brown back at the helm here. Decidedly not as mobile as he normally is. Pass on that far side goes to Georgie Alvarado. Alvarado last week had 10 catches for 75 yards. That one good for 8. 2nd and 2 coming up for the Dons. Brown in the short shotgun trying to get a read on the defense here. The Marauders not budging. Let's see what kind of pressure they can generate on the QB. Clock continues to tick down here in the first quarter. Gallardo in the slot. Near side. Brown outside. Alvarado again. That's good enough for 1st down yardage. Move the chains. Brown taking his time, a lot more methodical here, trying to disrupt the rhythm of this defense, which has been so good here for Antelope Valley. Brown, little option package, and he'll keep it himself. He's going to have a first. Back-to-back 1st downs. I believe those are the first 2 1st downs of the game for the Dons coming on this drive. Short shotgun again. Brown employing the hard count, looking to get a read. This is a savvy move here by QB. flags on the field. I think the Marauders want to talk things over here, a little bit back on their heels. And the timeout will be called by Santa Ana. I believe the play clock was ticking down. Be back in a moment. Spread the word, everybody. SCFA Football live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Follow us on social media at Twitter at SoCal College SPO, on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1, and of course our website, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. First and 10, Dons in Marauder territory for the first time today. Brown going to work here. Pump fake, out route, nobody home. That maybe looked like some miscommunication between Connor Brown, Nick Gallardo, and Tariq Wilson. Wilson, 86 yards on 8 receptions and a touchdown last week, leading the Dons in that department. Second and 10 now here for Santa Ana. Santa Ana coming in 0-1 after a 41-38 loss last week. That pass is complete. Up the seam. Falling is Aaron Richardson for Santa Ana. And the Dons will be in the hurry up here. Third and short. This could be 4-down territory for Santa Ana. Well, the defense has been pretty good on both fronts. Adams, the freshman QB, just needs to get his bearings a little bit under him. Brown, under duress, completes the pass. Near side, that's Wilson. And Tariq will have a first. Third consecutive first down on this drive for the Dons, moving the football here towards the end of the first quarter, coming up on the 3.5-minute mark. On the other channel right now, Saddleback at Ventura. Jeff Stoynoff, Emory Johnson on the call there. Brown back to cast pass. They're setting up the screen. Pass is complete. We're going to have a flag on the play. I want to say it's going to be 2 flags here. I want to say this is going to be a stiff arm, illegal hands to the face from Santa Ana, and then a personal foul penalty going to go against Raymond Womack. I believe Joshua Hill maybe got into the face mask of Womack. Womack took exception and wrapped the player around. Face mask. Okay, so that indeed will be the call. So they're going to pick up the other flag. I think maybe the flag came in late from the far side, so 2 flags for the same penalty. That's going to back it up 15. So first and 25 now coming up for Santa Ana. Hit us up on Facebook as well. I'll have a new graphic made next week. Matthew Henson, of course. Jack of all trades, doing it all. It's just going to back it up all the way to the 40-yard line. And I wonder if this was 2 penalties that go against Santa Ana, because they are way back in their own territory. It is 1st and 38. Brown has that pass complete. It's Gallardo. Gallardo, one man to beat. He's not going to beat him, but it's a huge play. Nathaniel Miles finally gets there. Wow. We'll see it again on the replay as Brown, rolling to his left, completes a terrific pass that's just over the head of Womack, and Gallardo nearly took it to the house. And now Santa Ana in business. Huge play there on 1st and 38. Marauders really had an opportunity to flip the field there, and now they are on their heels at their own 12-yard line. Skylar Taylor on the carry. A modest gain. It was 1st and 10 at the 12. Picks up 5. Brown absolutely crushed as he let the ball go. Pass falls incomplete, looking for Wilson. This is a battle out here, folks. Got an absolute dogfight out here in Lancaster. Two teams, both of them hungry. One team, the home team, coming off a first week win. And Santa Ana, heartbreak last week as they were shut out in the 4th quarter, gave up 14 en route to the 41-38 loss. Brown in the shotgun. Hill to his right. Check that, that's Taylor again. To the 5. That's going to bring up 4th down. And I think you need to bring in the kicking unit. And indeed, that's exactly what they're going to do. You got to come away with points here. This has all the makings of a defensive battle. You need points on the board. Strike first blood. Can't come away empty. It's a tough defense. I think you're going to take your 3. Porfirio Hernandez on to kick this one through the uprights. Kick is blocked. Gallardo falls on top of it, and the Dons will get stoned here and turned away. Tough to see who came in from that far side. Jalen Purdue. Live action. Russell. Nice run on 1st down, still on his feet. Flag on the field in the area where you would think there would be a hold. It's likely coming back. What a job by Jalen Purdue and the defense and special teams for Antelope Valley. And they're going to indicate that there is no foul on the play. Just good two-way action in the box. Both trenches working hard. And we will play on. It was a 1st down run. Looked like a gain of 11 there for Russell. And check that Bordeaux. 28 and 20. A little hard from up here. Pass will go outside. It's complete to Jones. Jones with some room. Up near the 40-yard line, another 1st down for the Marauders. See the replay here as Jones was just a quick hitter. It's a good job by Adams getting that ball out early. Quickly gets on the receiver, and Jones made a move. Picks up 1st down yardage. Adams looking near side. McDonald has his man. McDonald bottled up. Good gang tackle there. First man there, Samuel Warren, the second for Santa Ana. But another positive play here. This one on 1st down. We'll make it 2nd and 3 coming up. That's going to do it for the first quarter. No score. Defensive battle here in Lancaster, Santa Ana, the Dons, and Antelope Valley, the Marauders, on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the second quarter, no score, but the Marauders moving the football. Bordeaux gets to the outside. He's going to have another first down here for Antelope Valley. So you see Bordeaux get to the edge fairly quickly. Well blocked. Move the chains yet again. We'll give it to the young man. Have a game, Bordeaux. Still have not seen Tony Bell, who was so good a week ago. You just hope the young man's okay. But it's the next man up. And right now, it's Jacoby Bordeaux from Houston. Family likely watching on. Adams, quick hitter, near side. Pass is complete. Wrapped up quickly, Clifton Jordan. Bring up 2nd and 5. Adams, back to pass, looking for Jordan again. That one going to be incomplete. Well out of bounds. Adams really nowhere to go. Good bracket coverage on the near side on Clifton. Clifton, a good sized target, 6'1", 175 sophomore from Lancaster. He's a local kid. On Facebook, you can catch us at facebook.com/SoCal College Sports 1. Short shotgun again for Adams. Adams quickly out to Paris Jones. Jones has a block, cuts it inside near the first down marker. He will have another first down on this drive. Paris Jones. See the replay here. As again, another great job by Adams getting the ball out quickly. Good block on the outside from McDonald, cracking back and springing Jones for the first. Adams, inside rush. Is that Bordeaux? This line's putting in some work for Antelope Valley. Defense really on the heels here. And that was Bordeaux again. So Jacoby having one heck of a drive here for the Marauders. No score. That might change here at the end of this drive. Adams. So early movement. Indeed. Back it up 5. Back it up 5. Going to make it 2nd and 11. They're at their 28-yard line of Santa Ana. Whistle on the field, and we're going to have a timeout on the field. Indeed, timeout, Antelope Valley. Back in a moment. Second and 11. Adams again in the short shotgun. Bordeaux behind him. Going to the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown. Jalen Miller. Go back to the replay here. Adams just looked like a blown coverage defensively. Everyone went to McDonald, and that freed up Miller on the far side. Antelope Valley strikes first blood. Kick is on the ground. We'll see what happened here. 6-0. So AVC on the board first, 12:07 to go in the second quarter. Kaufman getting this one ready to kick it away for Antelope Valley. Low kick, bit of a flying saucer here. Will be picked up. Big collision. Christian Lamelli takes it past the 30-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 31. That's where the Dons will take over. See if they can respond offensively, moving the football on their last drive, but they came up empty-handed as their field goal attempt was blocked. They were about at the 5-yard line. Brown again in at QB, handoff to the outside. This is a pretty good run. Kenneth Lamb. Lamb, I believe, got the start this evening. Shows very well on that play en route to a new set of downs for Santa Ana. Brown again to the outside, pass incomplete. That's a terrific job on that far side by DeLon Smith, SCFA Week 1 Player of the Week. as he forces that ball out, intended for Nick Gallardo. Let's go to this replay here. Just a fantastic job here by D'Lo. Oh, I missed that last play. Let's go to the replay here. As there's a sack, but we have a flag. Going to negate the big loss of yardage for Santa Ana and do second down yet again. First, 2nd and 5 now after the penalty. Lamb again, but this one's going to lose yardage. Does try to get back and minimize the loss. It's going to be 3rd and 6 coming up for the Dons. Get some scores from around the SCFA here for you. As Connor Brown and company await the play call from the sideline. Brown back to pass, under duress, steps up in the pocket. He's going to tuck in and run. He'll have a first down and then some, and he is hit very well in the open field. That's one heck of a stick made by Keyshawn Young. That's a terrific job there by Connor Brown, stepping up in the pocket, seeing that he had some room to run. Back to live action. Lamb in the backfield for the Dons. They are in business in Marauder territory at the 38-yard line. Brown back to pass, rolling to his left. He's not going to get away this time. Gang tackled in a big way. Back to the 49-yard line, loss of 11. As you see the pressure get up front. First man there, Evan Lee. It'll make it 2nd and 21 for Santa Ana. Set up the screen, Lamb. Pass is complete. There's a flag in the backfield, and I want to say this is going to be an illegal or late hit on the quarterback. This is going to go against Reggie White if it is. Nope. It's exactly the call. So the Marauders shoot themselves in the foot again. They have an opportunity again to get off of the field. Instead, they move the change and do all the work via the penalty. Now the ball at the 28-yard line of AVC. And more importantly, a fresh set of downs for Connor Brown and the Dons. Brown calls for Lamb to join him closely. Read option. Falling forward for a gain of a couple is Kenneth Lamb. Not much doing up front there. Defensive front, terrific as usual for the Marauders. Brown, back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Brown is absolutely crunched. Play broken up in the end zone. Purdue having himself a game pass intended for Tariq Wilson. That's just a terrific job. Let's look at it again. Brown, pretty good pass there. That could have been a touchdown. How about Connor Brown takes an absolute shot and puts the ball on the money, but Jalen Purdue makes a play. Talk about the week 1 accolades for this secondary. 5 interceptions last week for the Marauders. Pillaging the aerial attack of Glendale. Lamb going to take it over right tackle. A lot of room to run. Fools him. And he is down inside the 10. They're going to mark him out at the 6-yard line. Pickup of 20 on the play. They needed 8. They get 20. First and goal, Santa Ana. And credit this offense here. They have responded in a huge way. That's that read option, and that fools them. Good job by Tariq Wilson on the outside. Really springing that play. We're going to have a timeout on the field called by Antelope Valley. Coach Jaleka not happy with that last effort. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. The offense clicking on all cylinders right now for the Dons. They are inside the 10-yard line at the 6 of the Marauders. Looking to scratch the point total here in the scoring column. That pass falls incomplete. Miscommunication between Brown and Tariq Wilson. Wilson with a touchdown last week, 86 yards, lead receiver for Santa Ana. Look for Georgie Alvarado, number 13. He's at the top of your screen. Wilson at the bottom. Gallardo in the slot, along with Aaron Richardson. But it was Georgie Alvarado a week ago with 10 catches. See if he gets a look in the red zone. Here comes some pressure, massive pressure. Brown able to get the pass away. That one nearly intercepted. Purdue had a beat on it. So he jumped the route. The pressure gets there again and bothers Brown. We'll set up 3rd and goal. Happy you've joined us, everybody. Spread the word. www.socalcollegesports.com. You got some friends, you got some family want to watch this game. They can watch it in its entirety on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You got a PS4, you got an Xbox, you have anything with a YouTube app, SoCal College Sports 1, you can catch all of our broadcasts archived to our channel. 3rd and 6, or 3rd and goal from the 6. Brown, quick pass inside, nearly picked off, intended for Wilson, and Purdue missed an opportunity to run one back a long way, nobody in front of him. A 23-yard field goal going to be attempted, again by Porfirio Hernandez. Blocked last time, this one up, looks good and is good. 6-3, the lead cut in half, and finally the Dons are on the board. And a team last week that was shut out in the 4th quarter, shut out in the 1st quarter, finally get some points on the board. But they trail at 6-3, 7:24 to go in the 2nd quarter. You're watching SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 7:24 to go in the second quarter. 6-3 as the Dons finally get on the board with a field goal from Porfirio Hernandez from 23 yards out. Dons now kick it away. This one's going to be returnable by Paris Jones. Jones on the far side. Has it at the 10, 15, 20. Has some room to run. Cuts it back to his right. To 25. Oh, what a move by Paris Jones. Oh, James Phillips is looking for his sneakers right now. What an unbelievable play there by Paris Jones. You look at the move here. As Jones, look at the juke that he puts on the big man here. Big man nearly fell out of his boots. Adams again in the short shotgun, 1st and 10 from the Marauder 30. Bordeaux over right tackle. Good solid run, still on his feet, spins out of one. Near midfield, and he's going to be taken down in Santa Ana territory at the 49-yard line. 21-yard gain for Jacoby Bordeaux. Look at this run here from Jacoby. Spins out of one. Got to be careful here. Jalen Miller really came off the sideline with a head of steam. Watch the replay here again. Bordeaux looking for the edge. Found it, but a minimal gain. Adams near side incomplete. Zay Jones, the intended target for Adams. Six to 3, 6:24 to go in the second quarter. Antelope Valley on top of Santa Ana. Adams rolling to his right. Russell picks up a block. McDonald nearly had it, and it falls out of his hands. It's knocked out nicely by Aloman Tep. They needed 6. They don't get it. It's 4th down. $6:18 to go. As Kaufman gets ready to send this one away. Gallardo back, along with Dylan Keehee. And I believe that's going to be a touchback as Kaufman was angling that one towards the corner, but just a little long. Good effort, but unable to do it that time. At SoCal College SPO. That's us on Twitter, on YouTube, SoCal College Sports 1, and our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. Facebook as well, facebook.com/SoCal College Sports 1. Gritty battle here in Lancaster, the campus of Antelope Valley College. Week 2 SCFA football. New quarterback for Santa Ana, and second time we've seen Luke Wilson here tonight. Well, Connor Brown has been pretty effective. They a little bit of a 2 QB system, something we saw last season from Antelope Valley. Brian Adams this season has solidified that role. Barring injury, don't see him giving up any reps at that position. Wilson taking his time, looking for his man outside. That falls incomplete. Pass intended for James Phillips, and Phillips was the receiver that was victimized by Paris Jones on that last return. Phillips, freshman wide receiver. He's a big boy, 6'5", 215. Two-back set, offset eye. Wilson sends a man out. That's Cole Nicetti. Wilson is going to get hammered behind the line, and it's another sack for the Marauders. Set up fourth down, and here comes the punting unit. Jailbreak blitz. No chance for Wilson. Jones back to return. Not a shocker there, I'm sure. Jones, fair catches it. It's still inside the Dons' territory. SCFA football week 2 doubleheader. Injured player on the field for Santa Ana. Give you a number on that when we come back shortly here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Back to the doubleheader coverage. Saddleback at Ventura right now. I'll get a score for you shortly. Jeff Stoynoff, Emery Johnson on the call there. It's 13-all between the Gauchos and the Pirates. Injured player is the kicker, Porfirio Hernandez. So that looms large here. Hernandez, the kicker, and he is being helped off gingerly. You hope that young man is okay. Can't really envision him at this point kicking any more field goals here tonight, so next man up in that department. But the question is, do you have a next man up? And now the kicking game, just like that, becomes a suspect situation. And there was a penalty on the play, roughing the kicker. That's the reason why Hernandez went down, and it's a new set of downs for the Dons as Hill takes it for a 1-yard loss. 4:31 to go here in the second quarter. And the Marauders on top by 3. Well, Rhonda Wright, I agree with you. The pretty good job on the defense. Definitely doing their job here tonight, limiting a team that scored 38 points in 3 quarters a week ago to only 3 points through more than a quarter and a half here in week 2. Brown outside, pass is complete, snatched out of the air by Georgie Alvarado, and Alvarado is going to get hammered at about the 32-yard line. They need the 35. 3rd and 3 coming up for the Dons. Rhonda Wright cheering on Devontae Wright, number 30, linebacker for Antelope Valley. Give me some shout-outs, guys. We'd love to hear from you, from where you are watching, remotely. Hill again, and I don't think he has it. Oh, he's going to be right at the 35-yard line. They are going to give him first down yardage, so a new set of downs for the Dons. 3:15 to go and counting. He should be stopping the clock as the chains move. They're not doing that yet. Chains are set. Back into the ball game comes Christopher Monteroso. And we'll have an official timeout, I believe. Nope. Marauders going to talk things over. 6-3, AVC on top of Santa Ana. You're watching SCFA football on SoCal College Sports. .304 remaining here in the second quarter. It is 1st and 10 Dons from their own 35-yard line. Connor Brown rolling to his right, again under duress, going to fling it, looking for Gallardo, and that pass is disrupted nicely. Play me some of that Raymond Womack. On the near side, gets a hand on it. That's a terrific play defensively by Raymond. Brown had his man, Gallardo, and Womack gets a completion. Second and 10, Brown hit as he throws over the middle, pass falls incomplete. German Sherrod. Pressure on the QB for the Marauders. And Brown has been bounced around like a pinball here in the pocket through much of this first half. Rhonda Wright watching on from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Clock stops at 2:51, 3rd and 10. Possible opportunity for the Marauders to get the ball back here in the 2-minute drill. Brown, pass incomplete. More pressure from the outside. That was Enzo Fantao Barker. Pressuring Brown this time. And here comes the punting unit. And Paris Jones got to be wary of the kicker. And who's going to be the kicker this time out for Santa Ana? Looks like Andy Martinez, 5'10", 230 freshman from Estancia and Costa Mesa, on now to kick for the Dons. Kick a little slow getting there, but he does get it off. It's a pretty good one. Takes a very favorable Don bounce, and it is going to be down inside the 20-yard line, somewhere in between the 15. They're going to spot it at the 17-yard line of Antelope Valley. Not a bad first tick there for Andy Martinez. Martinez now hobbling. Wonder if there was any late contact here. See the end of this play, see if we can see it. Inside handoff going nowhere. Bordeaux bottled up. Well, that hasn't been a pretty first half offensively, not like we saw last week from Antelope Valley. And obviously, week one, fairly successful for the opening week, especially starting a freshman QB. But Adams, growing every day in practice. You know, he's a player that came in out of state in July, finally came in, and he's progressed every day and in terms of arm talent and mobility, this is a kid that has all the tools. The question is, can he slow down the game enough for him to get better each day? And by all accounts, Coach Jaleka has said that the young man has. Heads off inside. This is Bordeaux, and it's going to be gang tackled near the line of scrimmage. So Bordeaux losing 2 yards on first down, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 now, as the clock continues to tick away. Coming off the field is going to be Darren Logan. Play clock down to 7. Adams going to work. Going to keep it himself. Not going to pick up a first down. And assuming that they let all the time run off here, the Dons are going to have about 5 seconds. Well, scratch that, because Santa Ana takes time out. Well, Santa Ana has been close on some pretty long plays here. Just have not been able to really break through. We saw that terrific play by Raymond Womack to break up what would have been a short touchdown for Gallardo. But you put a player with the talent of Raymond Womack on an island. He comes from one of the best programs in the country at the high school level, Pinson High School in Alabama. And the young man comes through in a big way. And right now, Santa Ana only with 3 points on the board. Kaufman on to kick it away. Kick is away. It's a good one. Gallardo looking to shift it, looking for some blockers. He has a couple, but the defense and special teams just so good, getting there in a hurry, stopping the clock at 28 seconds. How about the pursuit? I mean, there were a ton of blocks thrown, and it just did not matter as Gallardo goes down in the heap under a lot of burgundy. Shout out from Kamora Malia. And Gallardo, after a pretty long run there, still on the field waiting for the training staff. You wonder maybe if he was cramping up on that play. Comes up hobbling. He's shifting around out there. You maybe wonder if he might have turned an ankle. Gallardo, a go-to man in the red zone, as evidenced last week. Couple touchdowns, only 15 yards on 2 receptions. Also 2 touchdowns for Nick Gallardo in week 1 of SCFA football. And the Dons going down again to San Bernardino Valley, 41-38. And getting word here that we're going to be joined by Tom Gang, athletic director here at Antelope Valley College, at some point in the third quarter. Time for a few plays here. 1st and 10. Brown back to pass, and here comes the pressure, and that one nearly picked off. There was an opportunity there. D'Lo Smith in the area. Screen set up for Lamb, but going nowhere. The pressure just too great from this Marauder squad. AVC pillaging the likes of the offensive linemen and that unit for Santa Ana. Saw a lot of that last week, seeing that here this week. Play continues to be stellar defensively for Antelope Valley. Brown back to pass, has a bit of a window, looking to chuck it long, looking for Wilson deep, And the coverage all over Jalen Purdue. Purdue having one heck of a game. He broke up a touchdown, what would have been a touchdown, earlier in this one. 2 trips inside the 10-yard line for the Duns. Only 3 points to show for it. You take that every day of the week. Offensively, been a bit of a struggle for the Marauders. You expect them to make some adjustments at halftime and pick their spots in the third quarter. Brown, 3rd and 10. Here comes the rush, and it's another sack for Antelope Valley. We'll see it again. Brown just under all kinds of heat. He comes up a little gimpy. He's tackled by 3 different players. That will do it for the first half. Six to 3. The Marauders lead it by a field goal. You're watching SCFA football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. start the third quarter 6-3, Antelope Valley on top of Santa Ana. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage, Week 2 SCFA football. Game 1 of 2 here tonight on SoCal College Sports. Saddleback at Ventura. Going to get some scores for you shortly, along with some stats at the half. Well, if you look at the stats online, it's just it's a wonder as to how Antelope Valley has a lead right now. It's really all about their defense. They have 4 sacks for a loss of 33 yards in the Dons. Every other stat in favor of Santa Ana. Stiff arm on the near side. That looked like it might have been a late hit as the return, an effective one from John Robinson. Robinson and Jones back for that kick. Helmet came off of a player for Santa Ana, and that was Raymond Perez. Mark the ball at the 31-yard line. That's where the Marauders and company will take over. Bordeaux, Jacoby. Excellent first half. 9 rushes for 70 yards. Very effective. Did not get the start, but has been incredibly effective since he came in. Jerron Russell was the one who got the start, but coughed it up early. And Coach Jaleka elected to go in another direction. Bordeaux again trying to break first contact. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, we've been teasing the scores from around the SCFA, and let's see if we can finally get to those. Big win for Citrus earlier today, 73-0 over Compton. Elliott Pierce with a win over West LA, 16-12. They are 1-1 on the season. We will have coverage of them next week. Pass intended for McDonald out of his hands. It'll bring up 3rd and long. That one out of the range. More whistles on the field, and that's because we have laundry on the turf. So let's see what the flag is about. Looks like they're looking to walk this one back. Well, we have a personal foul, hands to the face. $14:15 to go here in the third quarter. A fresh set of downs for the Marauders. They're at their own 48-yard line near midfield. Adams back to pass with a lot of time. They're going to set up the screen. That one is picked off. What a play made by the Dons, and that was Marwin Alapati. Just a poor throw from Adams. He's trying to go over the linebacker. Pass intended for Bordeaux, and what an individual. And check that, Russell, the intended target. What a play made by that young man. Look at it one more time on the replay. So just like that, the Dons with the football and in Marauder territory. So Connor Brown and the Dons will come out. Brown back to pass under duress right away. Finally gets the ball out, and that one thrown intended for Gallardo. And he was draped by about 3 defenders. Incomplete, 2nd and 10 coming up. Marauders looking for sack number 5 here tonight on that play. They nearly had it, but Brown able to get it off. 2nd and 10 in the short shotgun. Hard count, induces a flag. Free play here, and that one nearly picked off, but it's going to come back here as the defensive man on the edge. I want to say that was Sherrod moved early. Well, Brown had some success with that early on as he was using the hard count with some pretty good effect. Hadn't really seen him utilize it to induce an offsides penalty. He was using it to get a read on the defense. He's gone away from that, and that has really allowed the defense to pin their ears back. This might buy him a little time. Second and manageable, 2nd and 5 after the penalty here for Santa Ana. Lamb in the backfield. He'll get the handoff and he'll go right up the gut, and this is first down and more yardage for Kenneth Lamb. Nice job. Good block on the outside. Good seal. Get a seal here and a seal there. Live action. Brown again to Lamb. Lamb going nowhere this time. Hit a brick wall. Will fall forward for 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. Brown looking outside, has a man. It is caught. That is near the marker. I want to say that is going to be a first. Pass was caught on the outside by Aaron Richardson. 1st and goal now for the Dons. Well, they get the turnover from Alapati. Terrific individual effort there, reaching up for the ball. Adams unable to clear the linebacking core, and it's an interception in Marauder territory. Brown looking for the corner of the end zone. That one's going to fall incomplete. And now the defense is going to have to hold here for the Marauders. Second and goal from the 7. Brown comes near side. That one incomplete. Again, pressure from that defensive front. John Robinson came on a cornerback blitz. So 3rd and goal now. And you have to go back to the first half. Porfirio Hernandez, the kicker, injured in that first half on a punt that resulted in a roughing the kicker penalty. But the bigger story there, you're only down by 3. This is likely going to be field goal situation if you can't punch it in here. But how much faith do you have in your kicking game minus your top kicker? Andy Martinez came on to relieve him. Inside handoff. It's going to be near the goal line, but not quite. Tripped up is Lamb at the 2. Fourth and goal, and I think they're going to go for it. They're bringing a heavy package here. Legend Demps check into the ball game. And this is 4th down. This one going nowhere. Turnover on downs, and how about that first man there for the Marauders, Devontae Wright. Got a feeling we're going to be hearing some from the feed. Rhonda Wright, been very active from Lee Summit, Missouri. Lot to cheer about there as Wright all over that play, and the Marauders will take over at their own 5. Terrific stand defensively yet again for Antelope Valley. Adams, inside run. Bordeaux up ahead to the 8. They'll give them 3 up. 2nd and 7 here. 11:08 and counting in the third quarter. We'll be joined shortly here by Athletic Director Tom Gang, and that pass dropped over the middle by Paris Jones. Tom, happy to have you here. Tom Gang, Athletic Director here at Antelope Valley College, and we got a bit of an ugly one out here yet again, but a little closer than you would like if you're Antelope Valley.
Absolutely. Looks like we're trying to get our feet up underneath us for the second week in a row. Defensively is playing phenomenal. It's a tremendous change they made this year on defense with a new defensive coordinator, Coach Eaton, coming in and making some major changes. It's just a great fit for them.
Yeah, the pressure has been uncanny here from this front. Speaking of pressure, Adams in all kinds of trouble and looked like the ball might have hit the deck. The indication is there may have been the ball coughed up, but Marauders able to recover. Going to bring up 4th down. So, well, you look at some silver lining here. If you're Santa Ana, you don't get any points. You're turned away yet again inside the 5. But now you flip the field and an opportunity here for the offense when they come back on.
Yeah, that's just a really tough position to be in the offensive, especially in the first couple games. Like I said, you're trying to get your feet up underneath you and to be able to have your back against the wall. That's a tough spot to be in for these young kids.
Kaufman, one heck of a kicker. He is in all kind of trouble. There is contact with the kicker. Is it going to be contact with the kicker or roughing the kicker? There is a difference. Am I right here, Coach?
Absolutely. Running into the kicker is a 5-yard penalty. Roughing the punter is a 15-yard penalty. Unsportsmanlike, automatic first down for them. So we'll see what he calls. Looks like it's running into the kicker.
Well, if anything, that'll give Kaufman a bit of breathing room here. It was 4th and 11, so not going to be a first down for the Marauders, but they will kick it again, and Kaufman will have another crack at it. And Kaufman, speaking of bright spots for this Marauder ball club, has been fantastic, not only last season, but this season as well. Last week, I believe it was 5 kicks inside of the 10, just doing a fantastic job for that special teams unit.
Yeah, right here you'll see that they have the ability to decline the penalty. It looks like they might be doing that, but tremendous job by our punter. The big thing in football, especially college football, is he can change the game for you. Yeah. And the kid that can move the ball that far down the field and put you in a better position is nothing but a benefit for your team.
Yeah. Well, they're talking about either declining. So do they have the option to decline the penalty, or do they have the option to tack it on to the end of the run? I think they just want an explanation as to what happened. And Coach Jaleka not happy with the call.
I think that's what they're doing. They're going to say they're going to re-kick, but I think the question is whether they're going to make them re-kick or they can keep the ball where it was. I'll tell you, in the years that I coach, if I can get the ball on any side of on this side of the 50-yard line, I would always take it. You never know if the punter comes up with a huge one or a guy fumbles. And if we have the chance to have the ball on that side of the 50, I would have said keep the ball. But Santa Ana may think they can get to him this time because they got close the last couple times.
Yep. So, yeah, he's been under duress back there, and really the defense for both units has been pretty stellar. Adams has not had a lot of time to work, not like he had last week versus Glendale. And Glendale, a pretty hard-nosed football team. We're going to kick it again. 5 yards in favor here of Antelope Valley, so Kaufman a little bit of more breathing room. They nearly get there again. This one takes a favorable AVC bounce. Taken by Dylan Kihei.
See, it looks like they put themselves in a worse position. So sometimes it is better to take the original penalty.
Now, could they have tacked on 5 yards on top of that?
Sure, I think they could have taken the 5 at that spot. I could be wrong. Yeah. I know that it's 5 yards from the spot of where the kick. Where there was before, but I don't know if it's 5 yards you can add to that.
Because I have to believe that would probably factor in some to the decision. The Marauders give up the football, and the Dons will have it at the Marauder 45-yard line. Here comes Connor Brown and company for the Dons. Gallardo at the bottom of your screen. Tariq Wilson, big play threat at the top, guarded by DeLon Smith. Lamb going nowhere after first contact. That's a terrific job by Nathaniel Miles. Miles, one of the transitions to defense this year, such an explosive athlete, but struggled a little bit at the wide receiver position last year. Really bitten by the injury bug. Came in, they moved him to defense. He did play some defensive back in high school, per Coach Jaleka in our conversations before the season, and he's made a fantastic transition. We see it there. Just very good instincts on the ball, and he's able to get to Lamb and drop him for a minimal gain. 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Dons. Brown has his man. Pass is complete and staying on his feet. That's a fantastic job by legend Demps. Demps is going to be ridden out of bounds short of the first down marker at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, the big thing you'll find with these kids, especially in the community college, is that you get some kids in that, they think they're receivers, they think they're DBs, and they're tremendous athletes. You just got to find the right fit for them. And it looks like Coach Jaleka, by moving him on defense, found that fit for him to be on the field and make an impact.
3rd and manageable here. They're going to say 3rd and 3 for Santa Ana. Showing blitz are the Marauders. Brown going deep one-on-one. He had Wilson, but he was bottled up by Jalen Purdue, and Purdue having himself a ball game here, Coach. It's he broke up a pass earlier in the end zone intended for Tariq Wilson, and right there all over Wilson, nothing there.
That's a special part of this defense. If you ask me, with the amount of picks they had last week and the pressure they're putting on the quarterback, everybody wants to say this is a great job by the D-line. Boy, that's great pressure. That's great pressure. No, that's a great job by the DBs, not giving the quarterback a target to hit.
Yeah, because they're 1-1 on an island out there. You talk about Purdue,
Absolutely.
You talk about DeLon Smith, SCFA Player of the Week in Week 1 versus Glendale. They're just getting it done in all aspects of the game. John Robinson has also showed very well. Martini is going to have to kick this one away. It's going to be a short one, a bit of a shank. Let's see what kind of bounce it's going to take. It goes a little laterally. They'll have it at the 20. Will the Marauders?
I think the biggest change I think this year is with that defense and what they're able to do and surprise some people. And early in the year, especially at this time of year, your defense typically is better than your offense. Your offense will get their feet up underneath them in the next couple games. But to have a defense this solid right now with the early going is awesome for them. It's just fun to watch.
You especially expect that to be the case, considering that you're starting a rookie or a freshman QB, in Brian Adams, and Adams showed flashes last week. He's shown flashes here tonight, but he's kind of regressed some a little bit in terms of his reads, and he's still getting better as a player.
Yeah, he is a definite up and comer. I always say it this way, mechanics, body language, decisions can be trumped by a great arm.
Yeah,
the kid's got a great arm.
Yeah, he just has an unbelievable build. You look at him; he's a big boy. He reminds me a little bit of Ebon Feathers a few years ago for Ventura College, a college that we cover a lot of. But big body, good arm, and good instincts. But he has to hone his craft, like you said, his mechanics. Once he gets there, he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, they just need to give him easy routes that he can just
2nd and 7. This
throw.
might be intercepted, and it is. This one just really thrown up for grabs, and unfortunately, that's a freshman mistake there. Coach Zach Toscas is going to come up with the interception, but that's a play right there where I think Adams trying to do a little bit too much under duress, and he turns the football over yet again. His second INT in as many drives. We'll see the replay here.
It looks like he was hit and his arm was hit, and once his arm was hit, that ball just went straight up in the air. It looked like they got some pressure on him. He couldn't step up. He tries to make the throw, and they hit the ball. So
and sometimes you have to have – you just have to be ready to eat the football or throw it out of bounds if you don't have a throw. But that's more of a judgment call. When you react in real time, it's a lot easier said than done.
Well, let me tell you, there's many a Sundays we'll watch film where you can sit there and think that, hey, why didn't you do this? And they're not seeing what you're seeing on film. So
offset,
it's a different story.
You're exactly right there, Coach. Offset eye here for the Dons. Brown rolling out. He is absolutely leveled. Helmet came off. So
no.
Coach, I understand the veracity there from Devontae Wright, but he has to be aware of the rule. When the helmet comes off, he's still on his feet. There was no ill will intended. Do you maybe have to pick up the flag here? I mean, there's got to be a conversation because the player's still on his feet, and the whistle, to be fair, was a little late.
Yeah, in college football now, the last few years, the ruling is if your helmet comes off, you have got to stop. That player is dead, and every player knows if your helmet comes off, or if somebody's helmet comes off, that player is dead. So I don't know exactly what they're talking about here. I think that that helmet comes off, you should just pull up as fast as you can because they're going to rule him dead right away. And especially if he's a quarterback, he has the ball. Obviously, they're going to rule it dead as soon as possible.
At the same time, you have a quarterback still on his feet with the ball. Your an instinct as a defensive player is to come with a. They're going to have one sportsman like.
Absolutely.
Going to go against.
Yeah.
Devontae, right? It's unfortunate, but it is by the rule book the correct call, and that's going to put the Dons in business here. That would have been a big loss. Instead, it's 15 yards going the other way. 10 or 15 here.
That's a 15-yard penalty. Those are just the kid's young, he's aggressive, he's fired up, and you see a quarterback, you don't tend to see that. You really can't jump on him that much unless he does it again.
Right.
But you want somebody. I've always said this: I'd rather have a wild mule you got to pull back than a lazy dog you got to kick in the butt. So. Him doing that, that's a mistake you got to want to, get on him about. But for the most part, you want to praise the kid for getting after it. But that's a drill, That's something you can put in the practice plan by saying, hey, guy's helmet pops off, everybody stop, let him be, So it's just one of those things, unless you practice it, it's going to be a tough move.
Yeah, Devontae Wright from Lee Summit, Missouri, and his mom, Rhonda, very active today in the chat thread, watching remotely. Happy you've joined us, everybody. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage. SCFA Football Week 2, Antelope Valley hosting Santa Ana 6-3. Tight battle here in Lancaster. Split backs. This is Wilson in at QB, and nothing doing again up front. That's right.
Well,
in the middle of it, along with Jermon Sherrod.
Devontae's a veteran player. He transferred from Missouri Valley College. He played at Missouri Valley College. Actually, I was an athletic director out in Missouri, about 20 miles from where he played, and I watched him play college football his first year last year. Just a tremendous player, and I'm glad we're lucky to have him here. He comes from a tough school. They played good football, but he wanted to make a transition and hopefully get to a bigger level. And the way he's playing now, I think he will get to that bigger level. So.
Well, one of our main objectives here at SoCal College Sports, I was a student athlete. Getting exposure for these student athletes is huge, and if you can expand the recruiting radiuses of some of these colleges that can't necessarily get out here to the West Coast, you got a lot of players with a lot of talent at your disposal. And that one nearly a touchdown, caught by Nick Gallardo over the middle, quick post, and Gallardo with first down yardage.
Yeah, that was just a skinny post, and he got to him real quick, and it just a tremendous play. I think they caught him off guard. They haven't run that all night for the most part.
Yeah,
so
Daryl Doris on the stop, and for sure saved a touchdown. Offset eye. Brown back into the ball game. Mike Cepeda, Tom Gang with you, athletic director here at Antelope Valley College. Looking on with great intent, I'm sure.
Well, spending 22 years on the field myself and only being off the field a few years, it still's in your blood, and you still want to be involved. But
well, it's nice when you're up here and you got multiple camera angles at your disposal. Quick hitter on the outside, and that one tapped up in the air, and opportunity. Was that DeLon Smith? I believe it was, in coverage.
Yeah.
Not a shocker there, and we have a flag on the field and some words sent back and forth. Who's this going to go on, Coach? You just don't know out there.
You don't know, and because you can't see who's talking to who and what's saying what. And
I think they might have you just can't have it.
Nope.
Sometimes in a situation like that, you'll get offsetting penalties, but DeLon Smith has to be better. Talked about him coming off of his Week 1 performance. A couple of INTs, Defensive Player of the Week, had a sack last week as well, but he gets called for unsportsmanlike there. It's a first and goal at the 10-yard line for Santa Ana. They're 0 for 2 tonight, and let's see if the defense can hold. Really playing with fire here, shooting yourselves in the foot with a penalty like that. Brown, early movement. That's on the outside. That's going to back them up 5.
That's good to see. It's tough when you got kids out there and, they're one-on-one, they're battling, their hands are moving, they're blocking each other, getting in their faces, and you can't always see what they say.
Yeah.
Back in the years when I was a player, boy, I talked more than anybody, but I didn't let the referee see it. So, it's one of those things that you got helmet on, you just got to do it a little better. But, no, it's a drive killer for your defense when you do that well and that happens.
Well, speaking of drive killers, you get one right there, and that one's going to be out of bounds, intended for Georgie Alvarado. 10 catches last week, 75 yards. He's been a bit of a focal point for Brown, but They just have not been able to get him in space. It's been Gallardo, it's been Wilson here today. Georgie was active early on. Haven't really heard much from him.
You can see that,
since.
but boy, I'll tell you, after watching film all week on these guys, Coach Eaton and the other defensive coaches are pretty good about seeing where they need to focus on and try to put their players against their best players. And it looks like they've been doing a good job of doing that. They, Santa Ana put up a good amount of points last week, and
Coach,
to have them to 3.
You're exactly right. We were touching on that earlier. 38 points in 3 quarters. They were shut out in the 4th en route to that loss versus San Bernardino Valley. Yep. So they hadn't come in exactly on fire. They were shut out for their last 2 quarters of play going into that 4th quarter, and then the 1st quarter of today. Absolutely. Finally get on the board. Only 3 points to show for it, and that goes to show you this defense, Studley here for Antelope Valley.
Yeah, they just got to do their best to stay healthy. I know they lost Cam last week, their nose tackle. That's why, we had to change the linebacker down to nose guard, and just different things. But if they can keep these top 12 to 13 kids healthy, they're gonna be really special throughout the year. They just got to hope that their offense picks it up and starts trying to because they have the same athletes on the offensive side of the ball as they do on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. It's just a matter of getting into the system and getting it going and getting their quarterback underneath them and and being successful. Once they find that success, I think they'll be unstoppable.
Remember, you can follow us, everybody, on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1, at our website, www.socalcollegesports.com, and also hit us up on Twitter, at SoCal College SPO. We'd love to hear from you. Anybody active right now on the chat thread, feel free to give us a shout-out. Let us know where you're watching from and what player you're rooting on. 2nd and goal from the 14 here for the Dons. They've been knocking on the door. Only 3 points to show for it. They set up the screen. This one diagnosed perfectly. Guess who? DeLon Smith.
DeLon Smith read that from the get-go. He stood back and he watched the movement. Everybody got through, and he just read and came underneath it and made the tackle in space. And that's to be able to make the tackle in space like that is a tremendous effort there.
We'll see the replay very quickly here as they set up the screen and check that was not DeLon Smith. That was Bradley Brown.
Oh.
Well, that's why we have the replay.
Well, and I didn't know why Bradley's dropping there. He's just such a tremendous, force on the edge.
Yeah.
But they must have thought a screen was coming.
Good thing that he did.
Yep.
3rd and goal from the 14. Brown flings it. Wilson nearly intercepted by Jalen Purdue. And, Coach, we continue to see Jalen Purdue shine in the secondary for Antelope Valley.
Well, he's definitely took some touchdowns away. He's done a great job at, spying the ball and getting on it, and you just love to see him get that ball in his hands and see him running down the field the other way.
4th and goal from the 14. Now, something to keep an eye on, the starting kicker, Porfirio Hernandez, out with an injury for Santa Ana. Backup kicker Nathan Romo on to kick this one. This is going to be from about 30 yards out. Romo has this one low and blocked, and it's in the hands of a Marauder player. Marauder player with some blockers.
Yes.
This is Nathaniel Miles. Miles is going to take this one likely to the house. 15-5, touchdown, Nathaniel Miles and the Marauders.
We got a penalty back here.
Laundry on the field kills it every time. Miles, hold on. Nathaniel knows it.
Got to understand when the ball's in front of you, you can't take shots. You can't do that.
See if we can see it here. Well, that bit of a block back there from DeLon Smith, but I thought DeLon did a pretty good job of making sure that his shoulders were square to the player. I wonder if they picked this up here, Coach, because upon further review, it looked fairly clean. Is there a rule stipulating that you can't crack back there?
Yeah, if the runner is out of the play and you're way out of the play, it's a ruling that it's unsportsmanlike, personal foul. If the play is way far, there it is, personal foul against the Marauders. If the play is away from you and there's no impact on the play by you hitting somebody, they're taking it away and they're giving you a personal foul. So
Coach,
it takes away that touchdown.
2 times now DeLon Smith goes from great to GOAT here in this 3rd quarter. 4:52 to go. We're in the 3rd. 6-3. The Marauders have a touchdown taken off of the board. Another personal foul penalty. He had an unsportsmanlike conduct that resulted in 1st and goal from the 10.
Those are just young mistakes, aggressive kids wanting to be aggressive, and I know it's going to kill Coach Aleka down there. These are things you have a hard time coaching. It's hard to replicate that in practice, and it's hard to replicate those types of things. And as a coach, it's difficult. But you really got to get to the point nowadays that football is getting to the point. If anything is away from you, there's not going to be an impact to the ball. Stay away. Back in the old days, you could go pick people off and hit somebody and do those things. But nowadays, you can't. It's changing.
Well, Adams and company will get it. Miscommunication there. Adams going to keep it himself, and the big man will fall forward for a gain of 1. Turned it what should have been a negative play into a positive one. On the flip side there, you have to get on the same page. And Coach, this offense has seemed a little out of sync here. You wonder at what point do you maybe think about calling a timeout?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking that same thing after that penalty. That I think that in my years of coaching, there's times I've called timeouts, try to get everybody calm down, regroup, and say, hey, we're going to start back. But you never know. The feeling on the sideline.
McDonald deep. Oh, Adams nearly put it in the breadbasket under duress, and that's a snap that got away. We've seen some lone snaps. We see some miscommunication between Adams and his center.
Yeah.
It's been tough sledding here offensively. 3rd and 8 coming up.
You just you can see it, and the way momentum works, especially up here, we can see it. On the field, you're kind of in the groove. You're in it. You're not really thinking about it. But sometimes regrouping is a good thing.
6-3, Antelope Valley by a field goal. We're in the 3rd quarter, 4:07 to go. SCFA football week 2. Jones on a quick hitch, looking to make somebody miss, and he's going to be. Oh, looked like there might have been a horse collar there, Coach. Now they don't take him out. What's the rule here, Coach? It looked like he was tackled by the horse collar, but not taken to the ground. Does he have to be taken to the ground for them to initiate the penalty call?
No, not so much. I think it's a discretion of the official. I think what he did is he did pull up and he did stop and he didn't throw him down, and I think that's where he stopped, and he stopped the momentum. So that's why they didn't get a call. But sometimes it's frustrating because you think they could call it and they choose not to, and it's a very disappointing thing at times.
This kick is blocked. Kaufman can't get it away, and this one's going to be rumbled in for 6, and just like that, Santa Ana will take the lead.
That's momentum.
Let's see if we can watch the replay here. Well, Coach, you had talked about it. We're looking at the replay of this kick. The snap takes a little while to get there. Santa Ana able to get on top of it and punch it in.
Well, if you look, the personal protector back there he's responsible for the most dangerous man, and you're always teaching him to get the most dangerous man. It looks like he chose wrong. You had the 2 guys running in. Even if he would have got one, that would have been better than not getting both of them.
Yep. Extra point is up. And Hernandez back into the ball game, walking gingerly away from the formation, puts it up and in. Well, the special teams unit has been pretty stellar here tonight for Santa Ana. We see it break through a block punt for a touchdown.
I think one of the problems they're having on their punt is that snap is not getting there crisp enough. It's floating. It's giving them time to get upfield. People don't realize how important that long snap is, and you got to get that on a rope back there to get that ball off. And it looks like it's floating back a little bit, and that's got to be a frustrating thing for them.
So how is Antelope Valley going to regroup? That one pinned in the corner. That is kicked perfectly. And this is Purdue. Purdue with some steam and some blockers still at his feet. He's at the 25, falls down at the 30. I don't know if he was tripped up or maybe he tripped over his own feet. Have you got a sprinkler out there, Coach?
No. Yeah, that's a great thing about turf fields. We don't have sprinklers, but that turf monster will catch you every now and then.
Yes, it will.
He had an open field in front of him. You know, it looks like he had a good steam on him, but he just couldn't get there. But again, he's one of those little cats, and it doesn't take much to take down those little cats.
You're exactly right.
You clip a toe on them, and they're going down.
So they hand off. This is Bordeaux. Toss to the right. This will be a minimal gain. Maybe 2. Thought I maybe saw a late flag. Could have just been some debris floating into the field of play. Sec 2:37 and counting here in the third quarter, and the tide has turned in favor of Santa Ana. They lead it by 10-6. And how much is that extra point missed earlier in this ball game for Antelope Valley loom?
Yeah, that could hurt them. You know, it's one of those things that you know, if you had that 7, you could get a field goal, get within field goal range, and tie the game. And now you're forced to get another score.
Derek McDonald, the intended target there. McDonald with a huge week last week, 2 touchdowns, plus 90 yards, 5 receptions, but he's been fairly quiet here tonight. And you have to believe after week 1, Santa Ana came in with a focal point, making him a point of emphasis defensively. And they've been very good. Cameron Freck has been all over. 3rd and 8 now for the Marauders, and could be another 3-and-out situation. You need some momentum here, Coach.
You need to try to get something positive, to try to get something good in that field, and then again, they just didn't get it this time, but you need to get something positive to go your way to get your kids excited. And that, you know, that blocked field goal and that touchdown was it. And then, you know, when you get that called back, that's a momentum killer, you know, and you got to do whatever you can right after that to try to get that back in your favor. And they're doing everything they can down there. I know Coach Leck is working his butt off down there, but it's just these kids, it just doesn't seem like they're responding to that momentum change.
Well, if anything, you could definitely make the case that they're kind of still sulking after that touchdown gets called back, because they've really gone to sleep since. Kaufman has that one blocked again. They break through, out of bounds. Santa Ana will be in business offensively at the 15-yard line. Back-to-back blocked kicks.
Well, he came off the edge that time on the different edge, so it looks like they put him on the opposite side, and he just came off that edge. It looks like he's unblocked.
We'll see the replay here as Santa Ana able to break through yet again. Oh, that's a terrific move. Well, he was unblocked. Coach, you're exactly right. That was James Phillips, 6'5" wide receiver. And that's just a terrific job and a setup. You got to get an extra man out there on that side.
Well, they got the 3 personal protectors, and I think what's happening is they're getting confused because they got 2 guys. They're bringing 2 guys off an edge, and it seems the personal protector is always going the other way. Where if you had 2 guys on the edge coming on those, you got them both blocked. The outside guy takes the outside rusher, and the inside guy takes the inside rusher, and they're turning it. They're just turning the wrong way, and I have no idea why that personal inside guy is doing that.
Wilson looking for the corner of the end zone, has Wilson. This one nearly intercepted, but caught by Tariq Wilson. And just like that, Purdue has been fantastic. Ended up getting a hand on it. Coach, we'll see the replay here. And Purdue gets a hand on it, but great concentration from Wilson. We'll see it one more time here.
He was in perfect position. He went up, and he should have just caught that ball. He's got both hands on the ball. He's had him bobbling it. He pushed it back to the receiver because it's clearly underthrown. He was clearly in the right position to catch, and he just didn't make the catch.
So just like that, Coach, it's a game of inches. How often do you hear that said? And look no further than that last play. And just like that, Santa Ana has broken this one open somewhat here in the third quarter.
Well, it's just frustrating to be that young man on the outside. I mean, you have a pick, you're thinking to yourself, I got a pick, here we go, and then next thing you know, they've got a touchdown, and it can swing that fast. But I still think watching it, this defense of ours is still solid. They just had a couple bad things go their way, a couple plays. You got to get your kids on the sideline right now, and then I'm sure Coach Eaton's going to tell them, hey, we're fine. We're doing our jobs. Just keep playing. Things will go our way, and you just gotta have faith that what you've done all week and what it's going to happen. And the offense can open up. We've seen he can score real quick. They just got to start focusing on trying to move the ball down the field, and I think that it's going to take one positive play for Antelope Valley, and the worm can turn.
Well, Coach, Jalen Purdue, he's had a very good evening despite allowing that touchdown there. And at what point, the defense has been on the field for a little while now. At what point do you maybe think fatigue may be a factor in that last play? There's a penalty on that last play, so this is going to back it up, and Hernandez is going to have to put one through from 10 yards back. Forget about it. It's through, and Hernandez still dinged up. Puts in the extra point, 17-6, and the Marauders reeling here in the third quarter. 1:32 to go. A lot of time to be played here.
A lot of time. But
Antelope Valley, their offense needs to get going. They need to find a spark plug. Who's going to be that?
Well, I would worry if we were in the fourth quarter with a minute 32. I'm not worried now because you've got a whole quarter ahead of you. I always say I've seen 21 points scored in a minute. So there's always that opportunity. Always trying to win. I think they've got the group of kids. They just need to have things go their way. And a catch here and a good block here, and they're off to the races themselves. So. If they can regroup and they can keep their focus, I think they're going to be fine because I think clearly we're a better football team in a lot of our positions.
Romo will kick this one away. Play is bobbled, but this is Jones. Jones with the lane. A lot of blockers. Flag on the field. This one comes in the area where you might expect a hold here, Coach.
It's hard nowadays to be going full speed and trying to block somebody without getting a hold. I think in any kickoff return or any kickoff pro, you'll see those holding all the time.
Yeah, we see it right there that they were holding up James Phillips. Phillips has been a factor on special teams.
Yep.
So again, the Marauders will be in a precarious position, field position-wise. This is going to back that effort up. Spot of the foul was at the 31-yard line, so they should get this around the 21. Brian Adams is going to have to go to work. Moment of truth. A growing opportunity here for Brian Adams. Is he going to come through?
I think the key is to try to keep the offense on the field for a little bit here. Get that defense a rest.
Yeah, you need to sustain a drive here. Adams pulls up, looking near side. This pass is caught. Jalen Miller. Miller going to be ruled out of bounds. Miller with a 40-yard touchdown earlier this evening. The only points on the board for the Marauders. But that one ruled an incomplete pass as Miller did not have enough room on the sideline.
Looks like he had the catch, but he was just out of bounds, and they got a foot down on the outside.
Yeah.
But a positive, he caught the ball, and now we just try to build on those positives.
Yeah, you have to start looking at silver lining here. Try to gain some type of momentum. 2nd and 10 from their own 21. 1:16 to go in the third. Adams in the short shotgun. Bordeaux behind him. Adams with some time. Here comes the pressure up the seam. He has a man. It's Miller. Oh, Jalen.
I don't think he saw that ball.
Coach, I think you're exactly right.
I don't think he saw it. Otherwise, why wouldn't he go down for it?
We'll see this one here. Coach, I thought it was a pretty good pass. I think that was just it was a little short.
Yeah.
Little short. Live action. 3rd and 10. There you go from a potential game breaker. Roll out to the right. This pass is caught. This is going to be good enough for a first down. Tyler Presley on the reception. And, Coach, I want to say that's one of the first downs here in the second half for the Marauders.
I think you're right. And this is where they need to build on it. They need to get that momentum and start pushing it down the field. Yep. Your defense is rested. They've got some time right now. It looks like they're up and about. So now it's time to take some hits and take those small things they give you and get forward.
Bordeaux, after first contact, stays on his feet. He's going to pick up 3 on the play. Coach, that's one that could have went for a gain of 1. Instead, he's able to stay on his feet, pick up a couple more yards, and you'll take a 3-yard gain on first down any day of the week.
Oh, absolutely. The extra effort is what you're looking at out of these backs. You know, to be able to get off of their first contact and yards after that's a positive.
Now, Coach, we saw a lot of Tony Bell last week. Don't know what his status is coming in.
Looks like Tony had a little bit of a head issue last week, so trying to be safe with him. You know, nowadays you want to make sure your kids are ready to go, get off.
Another play made by Tyler Presley, and that's a fantastic job of Jalen Miller holding his block, working against Cameron Freck. No flag on the field. Another first down for the Marauders, and here we go.
Yeah, they've got some good movement now. Good forward movement. They changed the quarter. They got the fourth quarter coming. They got the ball at the 50-yard line. They have every opportunity to win this game. It's in their hands. I truly believe that.
We head into the fourth. The Marauders driving here. They're trail it by 11 after a couple of touchdowns here in the third quarter for the Dons. Santa Ana on top of AVC. Final quarter of play coming up when we come back on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We head to the fourth quarter. Special thanks to Athletic Director for Antelope Valley coming on, sharing his time. Russell turning the corner, finds a block, and he has about a 5-yard gain on first down from midfield. Marauders need to get something going here in a hurry. Start of the fourth quarter, they're down by 2 scores. Adams back to pass, has a man near side. That one a rifle shot intended for Paris Jones, and pass is broken up. Skylar Finley all over. Saw Jones get cracked there. The pass falls incomplete. Third and 6 for Antelope Valley. Adams has a man nearly picked off, and it is. Pass is intercepted. Dons take over. Edgar Molina. Well, that's a pass that was bottled up and tipped up into the air. Let's look at that again. Unfortunately, don't have the ability to slow that down. Yeah, looked like Molina was able to toe tap in. So the Dons will take over in their own territory at the 37-yard line after the interception from Edgar Molina. Caught up from behind nicely. Is Skylar Taylor going nowhere? Guess who? Jermon Sherrod. Give me that. Wilson in at QB, split back formation. The Dons in clock killing mode, considering the score 17-6. We're in the fourth. Get some scores from around the SCFA here for you. That one complete on the far side, good for a gain of 5. 3rd and 5 coming up for Santa Ana. What a huge 3 and out this could be. Short 5 for the Dons. They need the 47. Offset eye. Wilson. Gonna change the play here. Skylar Taylor behind him, along with Jacob Allen. Yep, back. They go to the option look. Taylor with some room, and he is going to go airborne. Did he get enough for the first? I think he's going to be right down at the marker. He goes airborne and picks it up. What a play. See it again here. Just a tremendous effort by Taylor as you see him go up and fall forward for the first. San Bernardino Valley with a win over Santa Ana last week, 41-38. They're up on Santa Barbara right now on the road, 29-13. Canyons with a win earlier today, 47-14 over Grossmont. Southwestern, 28-0 over Palomar. Pass near side, Gallardo tripped up. That's going to be a huge loss on that play, about 6. Bakersfield on top of El Camino, 20-6. At the end of 3, 28-27, Fullerton by a point over Riverside. That's at Wheelock Field. At RCC, Golden West trailing San Diego Mesa, 21-14. Mesa came out a bit under the weather last week, but now an opportunity to hit up Golden West for a win at home in their home opener. Glendale down to Pasadena City. They're at the half, 21-7. Cerritos up 31-10 on Moore Park, and Santa Ana with their lead here, 17-6. Top of Antelope Valley. We'll have a timeout on the field. Take one ourselves. 11:22 to go in this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. Second and 15 after a loss of 5 on first down. Wilson in at QB for the Dons. In the shotgun. That pass deflected but still caught by Wilson. Wilson, is that going to be incomplete or a catch? Sure if that one bounced off the deck. No, it did not. Wilson, they will mark him at the 45-yard line. 3rd and 2 after a gain of 13 on the pass. Short shotgun, Wilson with Taylor in the backfield. Trips to the right. It's Gallardo, Georgie Alvarado, and Aaron Richardson. One-on-one is Wilson working on Jalen Purdue. Option read. They go outside. This is Taylor. He'll have the first and more. He's going airborne, and they were ready for it that time. Taylor taken to the turf, but after a huge gain on that one. Move the chains up to the 32-yard line of the Marauders, and that will eat up some clock here. Player still down on the turf. Big collision down low, and looks like Jermon Sherrod is the player on the turf for the Marauders. Bring in Harrison Starling. They lose Sherrod. That's a big loss. He's up on his feet. He's okay. Maybe just got the wind taken out of him. And there's a discussion on the field as to maybe there might have been some extracurricular. Not sure if a flag came out. They're looking for a spot here. I don't know if they're trying to induce a flag here. I don't know if... I know in high school, leaving your feet like that is a penalty. That's it's either unsportsmanlike, because I know they're trying to protect the player, but you saw Coach Jaleka motioning. That's the second time that he's done that. Is that legal? And they're going over with each other to make sure they have the call right, or the non-call right, if you will. And we play on. 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Dons. Driving here with with an 11-point lead. 2-score ball game. Looking to pad it right here. Looking for a coffin nail here. The 10-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Luke Wilson. Been pretty steady here for the Dons. Wilson going to keep it himself. He's going to be wrapped up. Nice play made by Bradley Brown. Wilson loses 2 on the play. Miscommunication between Wilson and Cole Nickety. Two wide receivers to the top and the bottom. Lone back is Nickety. Short shotgun again for Wilson, and here comes the rush. Play down the field. Can they get the play turned around? No. Wilson on the reception. Another touchdown for Tariq Wilson. Wow. What a throw. What a catch under duress. Wilson puts it on the money. Wilson does the rest. We'll see the play here as Wilson sees the pressure, gets a block to buy him some time, and then Nathaniel Miles one-on-one with Tariq Wilson. Matchup with a safety. You're going to usually win that every day of the week, and exactly what happens there is Wilson catches his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. (23-6). And the Dons starting to open up a can here in Lancaster. Back in a moment. Antelope Valley has been shut out in this second half. Offensively, they have hit a rut. And defensively, you can only do so much defensively. If you looked at the stats coming into the half, you really didn't like what you saw if you're Coach Jaleka and company. Flag on the field. Reason why I say that, because mostly every category that you're trying to win every ball game, they were losing. And eventually those stats won out, as Santa Ana has taken a firm control here in this one. Block below the knees. Going to go against Antelope Valley. They had 8 penalties at the half. I want to say it's at least that here in the second. 9:18 to go. And the Marauders need to get something going here. Russell, who got the start, Jerron Russell, who got the start at running back into the ball game. Need a big play. And these defensive backs playing off. Maybe see a quick hitch here to Paris Jones. Adams looking up the seam, has a man. Pass is complete. That's Miller. Nice play. Job by Miller staying on his feet. Stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. Chains are moved. And here we go. Short shotgun again for Adams. 2 up and 2 down now. Adams keeps it under duress. Pass is incomplete and it's intercepted. Samuel Warren II with some blockers. Warren looks like he might take it to the house. The ball comes out. It goes out of bounds. They were going to say that Warren II went out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Third interception tonight for the freshman, Brian Adams. And Adams, who had worked so hard to solidify consistency at the quarterback position, might find himself in a position where Coach Jaleka has to go to a backup or see what else he has at quarterback. The defense on their heels again. And the avalanche continues here for the Dons. 8:33 to go in the fourth, 23-6. And the Dons on the doorstep here looking for more. Wilson in at QB, in the shotgun. Lamb to his right. Delay of game. Wilson didn't get the playoff in time. I don't think he knew what the play clock was. I know I didn't. It's not my job, though. I don't get flagged for it. Handoff goes to Lamb. Touchdown, Dons. That was not Lamb. That was Joshua Hill. Hill with a touchdown last week. Back-to-back weeks now getting into the end zone. He rumbles in for 6 from 11 yards out. Nice cut back there in the hole. Good vision. And Hill rumbles in. Kick is up and good for Porfirio Hernandez. (30-6). The onslaught here in the second half continues for Santa Ana. We talked about it last week in the game versus San Bernardino Valley. This is a team that can put up points in a hurry. They had 38 points in 3 quarters. They were shut out in the fourth, en route to the loss. Barring an unbelievable turnaround offensively, they are going to even it up at 1-1. Back-to-back home games to open 2018. An opportunity for the Marauders to start off 2-0. They had the lead coming into the second half, but they have been shut out here thus far. Still a lot of football to play. This kick will go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, and the Marauders will get it at the 25-yard line. But, man, you got to find something that works here if you're Antelope Valley. And will they continue to send out the freshman, Brian Adams, at QB? Just made some very poor decisions, and frankly, the throws haven't been there either. But you know the kid has a lot of talent, a lot of arm strength. Who's going to get the call? I think the call is going to go to Deshaun Boswell. New quarterback for Antelope Valley. Adams might be done for the night. See if Boswell can turn around the fortunes of Antelope Valley. Handoff will go near side. This is Russell. Russell taken down after a gain of 4. Up to the 29-yard line. Just need a positive play. Get some blocking. Get some seals here. Some seals there. Make a play. Try and break one. Boswell. Hands off again. This one going nowhere. Maybe gained a yard. Did Russell. They'll give him 2. So Russell churns forward. 3rd and 4 coming up. Well, Boswell A lot different build versus Adams. A little shorter, a little leaner. Expect some speed on the outside. A lot of room on that right side of the line. Let's see if he goes there. Boswell puts that one into the turf, and it'll be a quick 3 and out for the Marauders. Pass intended for Paris Jones, and it looks like we have a player cramping on the turf. It's Jalen Jones for Santa Ana. Yeah, indeed. Looks like he's cramping up in that calf. We have a timeout on the field. Back in a moment. Kaufman going to come out here, and special teams has been a huge bright spot here tonight for Santa Ana. A couple of block punts back-to-back, one return for a touchdown earlier in this one. 30-6. Pressure there again. Kaufman does get it off. Take a fortunate bounce for the Marauders. The Dons will take over. Well, I want to go back to next week or last week's game versus Glendale. It was a win for the Marauders, but unfortunately we were not able to bring that game to you as smoothly as this week. We'd like to really thank the athletic director and the staff here at Antelope Valley College, setting us up for success here in the booth. Had some issues with the internet a week ago, and we are happy to have had things go a lot smoother in week 2. Unfortunately, on the field for Antelope Valley, not as smooth as it was last week. And, it's early in the season. You're going to have some growing pains, and you expect this Marauder club to be coached up and take a step forward after this ball game. One thing as a coach that you like about losses is that it gives you an opportunity to coach. And Coach DeLecca and crew will get it done, I'm sure. Have to shore things up, not only offensively but defensively. There were some spots to get better. We see it here. Taylor up the middle big. I mean, Tom Gang was talking about it earlier. They lost the nose tackle in last week's matchup. That's going to affect your run defense. And eventually Santa Ana was going to break through. Saw them chipping away. Kenneth Lamb, really the battering ram early on, and now he's given away to Skylar Taylor. And Taylor has really been very effective here. A lot good burst through the hole, good vision. So saw Joshua Hill run one in from 11 yards out. Last touchdown scored on the board here for the Dons. They're at midfield. 1st and 10. Another quarterback in the ball game. This is Joshua Garcia from Corona, freshman from Corona, Santiago. Clock continues to tick away. Garcia is going to get some run here. Side handoff. So we'll go to Nicetti. Well, this is game 1 of 2 of our coverage here in week 2 in SCFA. Saddleback at Ventura. See if we can get a score for you here shortly. You can catch this game in its entirety in our SoCal College Sports 1 YouTube channel. Score right now 27-19. They're in the 4th. Garcia looking deep, has a man. This ball is nearly caught on the far side. Punting it on, Andy Martinez will go to work. Martinez, penalty going to go against the Marauders again. It was 4th and 2. Going to be a new set of downs for Santa Ana. And, you know, you just got to be better. This is going to go against, looks like this is going to go against Jerron Russell. You don't need to knock over the kicker, and it's an easy foul call. Well, it's a deflated bunch out here for Antelope Valley because the defense has come back onto the field. Thought they had done their job and gotten off, but not so fast. John Huntley into the ball game now for AVC on that defensive line. Just go look no further than that stellar play made by Nathaniel Miles after a blocked field goal in the third quarter. The Marauders had Nathaniel Miles jump all over it, take it to the house. It was a touchdown, but a block by DeLon Smith on a player that was out of the play, ruled unsportsmanlike conduct. And then right after that, Marin Alapati picks off Brian Adams, and Adams has really unraveled ever since. So much so to the point where Adams has now been replaced at quarterback by Deshaun Boswell. But that play, it takes one play to really change things up. You know, look at Thursday Night Football. Look at the Philly Atlanta game. Defending champs, they were in a rut themselves, and finally they go back to the old QB, not keeper, but Foles with a reception, much like he had in the Super Bowl, really turned around the momentum in that ball game that they were trailing in, and then they really went on a run. They were able to seize the momentum and route to the Week 1 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. But it just takes one play to really turn the tide, and that play getting called back by Nathaniel Miles after he had run it in for about a 90-yard return on the touchdown, called back via the penalty. That was really the beginning of the end. Ketty, big run up the middle, up to the 10-yard line. Wheels falling off here for the Marauders. Dons in no rush, under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Huge lead, looking to add to it right here. It's 1st and goal at the 10. Garcia keeps it himself, has some daylight, and he'll run it in for 6. Joshua Garcia in for the touchdown. It's a good read option there from Garcia, pulls it out and runs it in. Hernandez injured in that first half. Really gutting this one out. Did miss an extra point earlier, but he is smarting out there. Puts this one through. 37-6. 34 here in the second half alone. 3:42 to go. Week 2 SCFA coverage here from Lancaster, Antelope Valley, hosting Santa Ana, and the Dons have taken firm control here in this one. 3:42 to go until the inevitable, which will be a 1-1 start to the season after Week 2 for both teams. Ventura opening it up in the fourth quarter, 34-19 on top of Saddleback. So Saddleback is going to start off 2-0 here in 2018. Paris Jones with it up to the 25-yard line. More scores from around the SCFA. 69-10 College of the Desert over Santa Monica. They're in the fourth. Allen Hancock on top of LA Valley, 7-0. 7-all Orange Coast and ELAC. They're at the half. Cerritos on top of Moore Park, 31-10. They're in the fourth. 21-7 at the half. Pasadena City and Glendale. Golden West down by 6, 27-21 to San Diego Mesa. They're in San Diego. 1:10 remaining in that one. They're in the fourth, 1:13 to go. Fullerton still up by 1, 34-33 at Riverside. 42-0 Palomar getting shelled by Southwestern. San Bernardino Valley up big over Santa Barbara, 35-13. They're in the fourth. Canyons with a win earlier today, 47-14. Short shotgun, Boswell. Hands off. Russell near first down yardage. Mount San Jacinto with a win earlier today. They moved to 2-0 on this young season, 35-14 over LA Southwest, 43-36. Long Beach goes down at the hands of Mount San Antonio College. So Mount Sac moves to 2-0. 16-12, LA Pierce over West LA. We reported that earlier. So LA Pierce moves to 1-on-1 on this season. Handoff goes. This can be a big gainer. Kobe Jackson. Kobe. Good hard running from Jackson on that one into Don territory. 2:35 to go. Big win of the day, Citrus over Compton, 73-0. It's a pretty big first quarter there for Citrus, 34-0. Jackson again with the run. He pulls the pile forward. He might be at the first down marker. He will be. It'll be a gain of 10. 36-yard line. Did he fall forward to the 35? Either way, they're moving the chains. Well, you have to figure a lot of the backups are in right now, but it's going to be, got to be a full start. Everybody not on the same page, and well, that's been the theme of tonight. Adams not on the page with his receivers, resulting in 3 interceptions for the freshman QB, replaced here by Deshaun Boswell. You wonder, how much work with the first team Boswell might get this week during practice. Boswell looking to give it off. Miscommunication there between him and Jackson. Boswell gets thumped. Loss of 1 on the play. Well, Glendale, game last week, 23-9 in a victory for the Marauders, but AVC just could not find an answer offensively, and Boswell hands off to Jackson yet again. Jackson still on his feet past the 30-yard line at the 25. They'll give him the 26. A little bit of a bright spot here for the Marauders. The Marauders get a week off. Their bye week is early this year. They'll have their bye next week. And then at LA Harbor on the 22nd. And then we are back at it here in Lancaster on the 29th versus Santa Barbara. Boswell hands off inside into a pile of white. It was 3rd and short. And they're going to say Sammy Santiago picked up the first down. Last play of the game here. Boswell will keep it himself, and that will do it. 37-6, your final. Disappointing finish here for the Marauders as they move to 1-1 on the season. Santa Ana now 1-1 in 2018. Thank you so much to everybody who helped bring this broadcast together. Matthew Henson, our graphics producer, producing remotely for us from Arizona. Perry Jaleka, head coach for Antelope Valley. Tom Gang, athletic director, gave us his time in the 3rd quarter. Very appreciative to him. And it's Antelope Valley going down here in week 2 to the Don Santa Ana. Thank you for watching, everybody. Back here in Lancaster again on the 29th versus Santa Barbara. We may have bonus coverage on the 22nd at LA Harbor. That one's still being discussed. But stay tuned on our website, www.socalcollegesports.com. We have coverage throughout the fall. I believe we have 2 games next week. It's College of the Canyons hosting Santa Barbara, and then we also have LA Pierce at home as well. For Tom Gang, I am Mike Cepeda signing off here for SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll see you next week.